Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Happy June 13th. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about, right? Thanks, Ada, for the date. So we have music in the background. Matthias is really excited right now, so please excuse all of the extra noise in the background. All right, so just want to go over some housekeeping things, and then we're going to jump right into the call. So want to remind you that tomorrow we have a sneak peek, a coaching sneak peek at 9 p.m., which means this is your opportunity to invite those prospects that you see as coach potential so that they can continue to help us help more people live healthy, fulfilling lives, right? So a good place for you to start, hang on one second. He likes to sing. So a good place to find coaches is in your challenge groups, right? Because they're already going through the process. They know what a challenge group is, but not only do they know what a challenge group is, but they're already exposed to our products. They're, more likely than not in love with our products. They love Shakeology, love the fitness. So you want to see the people who are posting a lot, the people who are, inspirational and motivational without you even asking them to be. They're just posting, motivation stuff, or they're encouraging others, or they're commenting on others' posts. Someone that's always participating. That's a good place to start. And really, it's just about inviting them to pay it forward, right? Just the way your coach invited you guys. So make sure that, that you get busy on that so that we continue to grow our team so that we can continue to have more impact and the trend of obesity. So that's tomorrow, 9 p.m. The other thing you want to keep in mind is that, oh my God, hang on.
Where's Maggie? I haven't seen Maggie. Oh, there she is.
Hi, guys. Hi, Ada. I'm here, quiet.
Hi. Sorry about that, guys. All right, the other thing is sneak peek to to challenge group next week on Wednesday, 9 p.m. So on the 21st, we have a challenge group sneak peek. So this is a good opportunity for you to expose those prospects that you want into your challenge group, someone that you've invited in the past that maybe they don't know what a challenge group is, or maybe someone who is hesitant, that has many questions. Just put them in there. So make sure that from today all the way to next week, you're inviting those people into that group. So we can ask, maybe Jamie can type it in when he will open the sneak peek so that we can start dropping people in there. He can type it in. Next week, Tuesday, we have compliance. We have the company on our team call. Very important, guys, because they're going to go over top 10 rules to stay compliant in our Beachbody business. So super, super important for you to jot that down and put it in your calendars, because it is like straight the company talking to us. So that's going to be a very informational call that we definitely need to take notes on. And then we have our final call of the month, which is the 27th. We have the power of accountability. And I know that Jamie had already identified a challenger, and we need one more challenger and then a coach to step up and say that, they want to share their story, right? And we're going to interview them. So the power of accountability, 3 people. The last Tuesday of the month. All right, so keep that in mind. The other thing is Fit Club. We have a Fit Club coming up in 2 cities. So the 24th, we have a Fit Club going on in New York City, right in Yonkers, New York. So make sure that you are inviting people. The Rosa's already opened that event page. So make sure that actually we should all be in there promoting, putting people in there. We should all be in there inviting people. We should all be in there posting, maybe pictures from the last Fit Club, maybe videos from the last, oh my God. He is, seriously? And Jorge's not home. You hear them? So, all right. So pictures and videos from the last Fit Club. You know, let's really bombard that page. The other thing that I just got the okay today from corporate, which is going to be big, is that we can actually have a sneak peek to Shift Shop at the Fit Club on the 24th. So guys, it's so important for you to invite your people. And all of the next 2 weeks, you want to talk about Shift Shop, because if you are bringing these people to, to expose them and to have them try it out, they need to know what Shift Shop is. So make sure that you are talking about Shift Shop in your posts. All right. Remember, only 3% of your contacts see your post, so don't feel like you're bombarding them. All right. So also I'll be in Texas, and I'm gonna see my Texas ladies. I'm excited about that. We have corporate coming down. Hi. We have corporate coming down to Carlos Aguilera, Director of Sales, our Latino market. And he's put together a training for the amazing ladies. So make sure, guys, that you buy your ticket. Not only do you buy a ticket, but make sure that you're inviting your challengers, because we are going to also sneak peek Shift Shop down there. So we're going to get to sneak peek Shift Shop, and then they can stay for another hour if they like, so that they can be exposed to the coaching opportunity. So it's going to be a fabulous weekend. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see you guys again and hang out. So, and sweat it out this time around and learn together. So, what else? And then finally, Summit. So for my people that are going to Summit, and even if you're not going to Summit, I want to say that we have already started the process for our team shirts. We had team shirts last year at Summit, but we will have newer shirts. Thank you, Amy, for creating that beautiful logo. And we are, in conversation with a company who is actually going to have a site for us where we can buy our shirts individually, whatever shirt you guys prefer. So, so you don't have to be going to Summit to buy your shirt, but if you are coming to Summit, make sure you have a team shirt so that we can all take a picture together. And then also, if you are not coming to Summit, that's okay, buy your shirt anyway, because this way when we go to Fit Clubs or when we go to Super Saturday, we can wear them together. All right, so I think, oh, and the last one is, guys, the June event here in New York for our team got postponed to June. I'm sorry, to August. So June 20, I think it was June 17th, so this coming weekend. It got postponed to August. I believe it's August 12th. Don't quote me on that, but it's in the event page. So if you bought your ticket already, then you're good to go for August. If you cannot attend and you bought your ticket, let me know so that I can, process a refund. But basically, those are the announcements. I'm going to introduce our ladies on our call tonight. So tonight's call is going to be very informative, and I think that everyone who is working this business, who wants to take it to the next level, is going to be taking tons of notes, because these two ladies are amazing. Both of them actually started around the same time. They both live in Texas. They're success partners. And one of them started in July of last year, and that is Maritza Munoz, who is a diamond coach on our team. And then Amy Baer started in August of last year, and she's an emerald coach on our team as well. Both these ladies have always hit Success Club without missing a month since they started their business. So that means that they have helped at least 3 people change their lives, right? Their families. And they just fell in love with the process. They wanted to pay it forward, and this is what they do. These two ladies are also mommies of 3 kids, and they are also wives, and both of them have career. They're both career women. One of them works outside of the home, and the other one has another business besides Beachbody, but works from home as well. but they're also juggling all of those responsibilities and roles. And they are also amazing Beachbody coaches and are killing it in their business, paying it forward, have, you know, amazing challenge groups, and they are amazing leaders on this call. So tonight they will share with us how they juggle all of that and make it seem so, just so easy, right? So, okay, guys, so I'm going to open up the floor. I'm going to make it speaker view so that you guys can share.
Hi,
The
everybody.
floor is yours. Oh, you know what? Do me a favor. Why don't you guys, whoever starts first, introduce yourself in terms of how you became, you know, familiar with Beachbody and why you decided to pay it forward.
So I'm going to go first. I'm Maritza, as you all know, Maddie. I was a lover of Shakeology for years, drinking it pretty much daily after I had my second daughter. Managed to lose a lot of weight, but I was on the journey pretty much on my own, so by myself without support. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it was an up and downhill battle. Lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. So my cousin Nilta, who is my coach now, we were at a family barbecue, and I don't remember how the topic came up of Shakeology, but she found out that I was drinking Shakeology at retail price. What? For like almost 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So she told me about the discount coach option. So I was actually gonna join, which is pretty crazy because I was gonna join under one of my high school friends, and she was directly under Saudi. So it was really weird because we're all connected. But I am so happy that I'm here with you guys because I have my cousin, my family, Gabby, you're all family now. So once I started as a discount coach, and pretty much that month, I started sharing my story just organically. I wanted everyone to know what I was doing, and I was having results that month. So I said, let me just share it. And it was pretty natural, actually. I don't even think we ever even had a conversation about coaching. It was just like, okay, I'm putting you in the sneak peek. And then from there, it was like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. So it was pretty seamless. It felt pretty natural. And I've loved it since. It is, you know, there is a lot of juggling work, as Gabby said. Thank you, Gabby, for that introduction. Juggling 3 kids, as you can see, they're pretty crazy. 3 kids, a career in finance, being a wife. We just recently bought a house, so it's been very busy. But throughout it all, I just make sure that I am consistent. And I want to share my screen because I put something together, a little something together for you guys. So let's see. Let me just share this. Alrighty, 1 second. Can you guys see that? You can see it? Okay, good. All right. So I'm just going to share, you know, what has worked for me. You know, of course, we all know consistency is like the biggest thing. So I'm going to emphasize that. But like I said, mom of 3, I have a supportive husband, thank God. He just took the kids to the room. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to talk. Just bought a home. I'm a vice president at a hedge fund. I lead a team in Dallas. There's 3 of us. The firm is based in New York, and I've been with the company for over 10 years now. Very fast paced. So, I mean, I feel like I've gotten that down. So why not add something else to my plate, right? You all know I'm like fitness obsessed. So I've lost a lot of weight, 110 pounds, and I'm motivated by progress and everything in life. So once I see results, once I see things working, I want to run with it. So how I work my business with so much going on. My daily lunch power hour, I use my lunch break as like the time, that's my time to do something. So I'll either do my power hour or start my power hour. And have mentorship calls with Gabby, have my calls with Amy, our success partner calls, which are so helpful too. And I focus more on each day. So I take it day by day. So every day I break it down. If I have a lunch hour. Sometimes I don't. We normally work at our desks, so I'll just go either into a conference room or I'll step outside to do my power hour. So I just take it one day at a time. I focus on getting the key things done on my power hour, either during lunch, during a break, so sometimes even right before bed. So I find these little pockets of time and I try to make it happen. So the timing, although I do not have set hours just yet, because right now I'm still getting everything together, I do have off hours. So 6 to 9 are typically the hours where I don't do anything, because those are my precious time with my kids, because I'm working mom, busy, you know, we don't really have that much time together, as much time as I would want. So I use those pockets of time. I utilize voice notes a lot. And I know you guys have heard this on one of our team calls. Someone mentioned it, and I've been doing it too, and I find it so helpful. So I'll record like either one generic follow-up. So that saves time. I'll forward it to people. So I'll just say like, hey, you know, I know we spoke about the challenge groups. I wanted to see if you've had time to think about it, whatever it is. Or also for my current challengers, I'll typically start out the conversation with a voice note that's pretty, you know, generic, like, hi, how's it going? How's this week going? And then from there, you know, I remember I take notes too. I remember what's going on with their journey, take notes where I need to. Sometimes I just remember it. So the key to success. So I think what has worked for me mostly is being consistent, like I said, being myself, and leading with my heart. Those are the key things for me that have been everything. So vital behaviors every single day, no matter what time it is. If it's at lunchtime where I have that break, I make sure that I'm inviting at least 5 new people every day. Following up, at least 5 new people. So I try, 5 is my minimum, but I try to do more. If I don't have the time, I'll do the 5 and then revisit later in the day if I have, you know, time left over. Adding to my network, I add at least 5 every day. Like I said, I could add more depending on the situation. Social media posts, 3 to 5 a day. I'll tell you guys about that because I was very hesitant in the beginning to do those 3 to 5 posts a day. Check in with my challenge group, and, you know, recognizing people genuinely, challengers, coaches, anyone that I feel is like putting in the work and showing up, want to recognize, because they're significant in my journey. They're significant in everyone else's journey. Connections and happy birthdays. Those are so important. Happy birthdays for me usually start off like a conversation about Beachbody. And it's not, you know, I just literally go into the events on Facebook every single day, wish everyone a happy birthday. Typically starts a conversation. Sometimes it doesn't, but at least, you know, I put it out there. They see that I'm messaging them and I care enough to take a few minutes, you know, to say happy birthday. Personal development. I do at least an hour a day because I truly believe that our businesses will grow at the rate that we grow. So a couple months ago when I started in August, if you told me to lead a call, I would say, no way. So through personal development, you know, I've learned a lot, and I feel like it's helping me grow. And as I take on, you know, new responsibilities, more personal development. So at least an hour, and I do that on my way to work. And I've actually started doing it on my way home. Started out, I would literally time it 20 minutes on my way to work. My commute was like an hour. And then the rest of the time I would do whatever, listen to music. Now it's the whole car ride because I really value it. And it has helped me grow immensely. So I always say, and I say this to my sister too, because we have like one-on-one convos every day about this. Losing momentum, it hurts us more than we know. So I try, even at the busiest of times, like when we were going through all the house situations, at least do my power of 3 before bed. Because I feel like once you get out of the flow, once you lose momentum, it's so hard to rev it back up. So stay moving, stay on track, even if it's just the power of 3. If you invite 3, connect with 3, follow up with 3 every night before bed. And we all know, we've heard this so many times, it's a delayed business. So, you know, what I'm witnessing right now in my business is most likely due to something that I was doing a couple months ago. Keep the ball rolling, like I said, even if it's the power of 3, just keep going. And I don't allow, you know, I don't let my business leave my mental state. Like I keep thinking about it, because once that happens, it's easy to slip out and it's easy to lose that momentum. So, and be patient, give it time. These are things that I've had to learn too, because I'm like, I want to do this. I want to be 2-star diamond. I want to be this. No. Give it time, be patient, work towards your goals, but be patient. So the other key to success for me has been to be yourself on social media. Share, and show everyone, your audience, your friends, your family, who you really are. You don't copy the next one. Just be yourself. Get people to want to see what you're doing, get eyes on you. Coming out of my shell was very hard. I remember when we did our first training, I told Gabby that I posted on Facebook once a week, and she was like, what? No. So, I built up from once a week to like 3 to 5 posts a day. Still hard for me. It's still hard. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm like, these people are probably going to think this girl's crazy. She wants attention. But like Gabby said earlier, only a small percentage of our friends actually see our posts. So, just get it out there. Show people that you're consistent. You're showing up every single day. Because if you can't show up in your own journey, there's no way that you're going to show up as their coach, So they see that. They're like, this girl's consistent. She's going to keep me on track. So that's like key. Always show up no matter what. And like I said, you aren't posting too much. I have to post a little more sometimes because I'm like, okay, how many did I post? I'm not as organized with what I post. Usually it's like kids, fitness. But I'm working on it. Every day is a learning experience. So what do I post? How do I know a lot of the time people are like, well, how do you find things to post about? I usually post my personal development takeaways. So while I'm on my way to work, I'm listening to whatever it is. If I'm listening to You Are a Badass, if I hear something that's like really stands out to me, I take my other phone while I'm driving, record that little quote, and that becomes my quote for my post. And that I just try to incorporate that post into, what I'm feeling that day and how it relates to it. What are my struggles? Show my struggles, show my passions. I think it's also important to show, to just be vulnerable. For me, I show like one of my struggles is losing weight with a busy schedule, how I fit it in. I work out when the kids are napping on the weekends. I usually wake up early to do it since, it's crazy busy. Basically just show them how we make it work, right? Because that's important. And I also share what I'm passionate about. Being a mom, that's the most important thing to me. I love to show that. I'm a working mom of 3, how I make it happen. I try to post about being a Texas transplant, so a city girl that moved to Texas. Extended breastfeeding, I know, I post about that because it's important to me. And I want to attract people that are also find that to be important. Being a wife, being a multitasker, that I can juggle things. So that's what I usually try to share on social media. And also leading with my heart. So instead of saying, I need to hit Success Club 2, I say, okay, I need to help one person, start their journey. So I literally lead with my heart. I think about it in terms of whose life am I going to change? And I know you all do that too, right? We genuinely want to help people. So we're leading with our heart and connecting with people. It's not going to be like, I just start a conversation with you tomorrow and then you sign up. Like, that's never my motive. It's, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know how this is a solution to one of your problems that you're facing in losing weight, in, whatever it is. And thinking of, like I said, Success Club points in terms of just helping people. How can, although it's an important number that it helps to quantify our success as a coach, for me, it's extremely important to just know that I'm helping someone. When someone comes back, and this is another thing with follow-ups, it's sometimes a pain, right? Because you're like, oh, I don't want this person to think I'm harassing them. But how many times have you had a challenger come back to you and say, I'm so glad that you didn't give up on me, Laura, because Laura used to tell me, go away. I'll come back to you. And look at her now. She's loving her transformation. She's doing her thing. So I keep that in the forefront of my mind when I'm following up, that this person could be someone that really needs it and they're just really not ready. So following up is so, so important, even though, it sucks. So trackers, I actually use this simple sheet and I use Teamsy. So this little sheet, and I always put like a little affirmation on the top. So as I'm doing it, I'm thinking of it. So I track dedicated, self-motivated, independent team players that want to build their businesses. or I track people that, you know, really, really need this in their life, but they just don't know it yet. So I try to put something in there so I can remind myself, you know, this is what you're working for. This is what you're working towards. I do this a lot. I write down affirmations a lot. And so this is the tracker that I send Gabby. And for notes, because they're, you know, you can't remember everyone you reach out to, I use Teamsy and I do log in the comments or, you know, a note on our conversation. But this, I like to check boxes. I like to feel like I did something, you know. So as I go throughout the day, especially if it's a crazy day where I'm doing those 3 little buckets of time, I make sure that I mark them down. So I actually took a picture of this earlier today, so you'll see it's 6:13. So tonight I still have to check in with my challenge group. That's not clicked off. So that'll be later. Very simple, right? Very, very simple. I feel like this is stuff that you guys have all heard before. And that's like important, right? Overcomplicating it sometimes just gives us like this wall. It makes us hit a wall. We shouldn't overcomplicate it. It's very simple. We felt amazing when we started on our journey. We know that Shakeology changed our lives. We know that these programs changed our lives. So why overcomplicate it? All we're trying to do is just spread that happiness. If you think about it like that, it becomes so much simpler. So my goal is always to be better than I was yesterday. That's it. I just want to be a little bit better every day. A little bit, you know, I've learned a little bit more as a coach today. I've learned a little bit more in my fitness journey with Shanti. Oh my gosh. And we're a byproduct of our vital behaviors and whatever it is that we do daily. So our actions, our daily actions, we are a byproduct of that. So if you feel like you're lacking in one area, then focus more on that area until you do a little bit better. Affirmations and prayers and focusing on what I really want, those are things that I hold near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I put the affirmations on my paper. I write them out sometimes, like while I'm at work, I'll just spread it out just so that I keep it fresh in my head. And that's also another thing with the, Gabby had us write out that ideal day. On days where I don't feel like doing my power hours, because there are days like that, right? We're all crazy. I was just going through this crazy move with like a zillion toys. What did I do? I read my ideal day before I did my power hour to remind myself, you know, this is what I want. And I know that Beachbody is the vehicle to get me there. So reading that helps me, gives me that fire, gets me going. And also reminding myself of my why, you know, that has been very helpful in keeping my fitness journey, you know, just as just as important as your why is in your fitness journey, it's important in your business. And you can lead your business with your why, you lead your fitness journey with your why. Oh, this is one of my whys. And that's really all. I mean, I feel like it's very simple, and I'm sure you've heard all of this before, but prioritizing, you know, your vital behaviors, that's really it. That's, you know, and the social media posts, like I said, I did not want to do it, but I learned to go from one post a week. You know, I would add on a little bit more every day. I would add on, you know, using my personal development. I would add on using whatever it was that I learned, you know, doing my personal development, my affirmations, things that I feel like are adding value to the lives of others. That's what I want to share in my post. So that's all I have, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Sorry, let me get this on. No questions? Oh, wait, hold on. Is there anything in the chat?
I have hi, Maritza. It's Jamie. How are you?
Hi. Oh, there you are.
Great job on your presentation. Very well prepared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My question is, and I usually ask this, so what is because you have a lot of stuff going on. The one thing, because I watch everybody's story, and
Jamie, you're freezing.
So the one thing I like about the way you share, you're very honest with your, like,
Jamie, you're freezing. He doesn't hear me.
Amazing. What is your biggest struggle, or what is? No. I just want to ask the question. What's your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle, honestly, like I said in the beginning, was just sharing and getting vulnerable. I'm the type of person that I'm like, usually I don't like to share when things are, when there's any kind of negative. I usually like to just be, or at least, put this persona that everything's perfect. But I think getting myself to that point where I was vulnerable and sharing it to, like, right now I have almost 2,000 friends, like that's big for me. So it definitely takes a little push. And like I said, reading my ideal day or thinking of my why pushes me to share it because, it gives me something to work for. That's my biggest struggle. And I've always been such a private person. So sharing, it's gotten easier, but it's still hard at times. But that's definitely my biggest struggle. And time, but yeah, I make it work with those.
Okay. And what's the personal development?
Right now,
I know you spoke about,
I think you asked me what
what are you doing for PD?
Oh, okay. So I'm someone that I like to listen to the same thing over and over and over. So I did compound effect. I mean, like 20 times. That's Chula because we share Audible accounts. So I'll buy one, she'll buy one. And she's like, oh, I'm up to this. What are you up to? And I'm like, still on. So right now I'm doing You Are a Badass. I'm making money. I alternate between that. And the original You Are a Badass. I love those. I just find them to be funny. And I can apply them to my life. And we bought another one that I'm about to start. Which one did we buy, Chula?
We have
I just drew a blank.
the one that me too. How to Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. That's the other one. I'm actually doing that too. So I've been doing that, but that one the information is amazing. But while working, I find that I can't do that one.
You can't. No, you have.
Yeah, that one.
Focus.
So while I'm working, while I'm reviewing trial balances and financial statements, I'll throw on You Are a Badass because it just lifts my mood. But if I'm in the car, I'll do Think and Grow Rich. And I also have the old school one. Gabby, can you remind me?
How to talk to people.
Yes, how to influence people. I forget the official title, but how to win friends and influence people. I think that's so I've been alternating between those. So I'll listen to it in its entirety, and I'll go back and listen to it again. So I'm like a dweller. I like to listen to them to the max, take away as much as I can because every time I listen to it again, I take away something new.
Well, Darren Hardy suggests that in the compound effect, right? That you listen to something 300 times rather than 300 different things. You take more away.
Right. So that's what I've been doing. Like those are the books that I've been going around. Oh, and Entrepreneur Roller Coaster is like one of my favorites. But I haven't listened to it. Probably go back to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? If not, my beautiful success partner is going to speak.
You're awesome, Maritza. You know you are. We love you. Thank you for sharing all of that. Gosh, I don't know what I can possibly share that would be more informative than all the stuff that Maritza just shared. That was really awesome. My name is Amy Baer. I'm 41 years old. I live in Texas with my husband and my 3 boys. I have twins who are 6 years old and Joshua who is 3. I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, I suppose, because I've changed careers many times, changed my direction many times. I'm one of those people. I get excited about something and then I go down that path and I do it with gusto, and Beachbody is no exception. Certainly I've enjoyed being a coach in the short time that I've been doing it. My first career was as a graphic designer, and I did in-house graphic design right out of college for a publishing company and a couple of nonprofits. And then my husband and I went off to seminary, and he and I are both ordained PCUSA ministers. He is in an official ministry capacity these days, and I haven't been for a few years since we moved to Texas. But before we moved to Texas, I worked in I was a hospice chaplain for a few years, which was a wonderful experience. And at the same time, it was not my long-term calling. It was my calling for a season. And I feel confident that God meant for me to do that work for that time, to flex some muscles that I needed to flex, and to hopefully be a blessing to other people. But in truth, most of the people I encountered were the people who were providing the blessing. Being a hospice chaplain was a real watershed experience for me. And then we moved to Texas, and I went back to graphic design just a little bit. And I have an Etsy shop where I design invitations and cards, and basically custom stationery is the main thing that people buy from me in that shop. And then I became a Beachbody coach. And then a couple of weeks ago, I decided to open a second Etsy shop, which hasn't sold anything yet. I've sold lots of stuff to people locally, but I haven't sold anything on my Etsy shop yet. So we'll see what happens with that. But I also make custom cookies. So I always say, if you want your cards or your cookies or you need a coach, you come to Amy Baer. I got you covered. But anyway, so I do a few different things. And all of that is really beside the point, actually, because my main job is I'm a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm a stay-at-home wife. My family is absolutely my top priority in life. And so that's my very first job, is to take care of the people inside these four walls, and to make sure they're fed and clothed and clean and taken care of and loved and hugged and taught and all of those wonderful things. And I enjoy that work a lot. And one of the wonderful things about being a Beachbody coach is that I can do it. Most of the time I can do it in between all those other things that I just told you about. So gosh, it's so quiet when I'm the one that's talking. It's really weird. Does anybody else feel like that when they're the one that's talking? Like, can you hear me? Right? Is this thing on? So the main thing when I think about being a Beachbody coach, and in the months that I've been doing it, the main things that when I started to think about what is it that has gone well for me, and I really think that it all comes down, for me, it all comes down to when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So every day, every month, every week is in my mind is already planned out. I've already got a plan. So that's what I'm going to share with you, is how I plan. Because with my plan, even if my plan gets thrown out the window, at least I have that plan, and I can work within a framework of, this is what I need to accomplish in this period of time, in this period of time, in this period of time. And if I've done those things, then I've done the thing that I can control, which is I can control my attitude and I can control my actions, right? I can't control other people. I can't control whether a tornado hits my house. I can't control if my kids get sick or not, right? There's lots of things in life that we can't control, but we can control our attitude and we can control our actions. And so those are the two things that I make a plan for, my attitude and my actions. So first I'm going to talk about my month. And Gabby and Maritza know this because we've talked about it a lot, but I plan my month and I sort of spread my vitals across the month. I spread them across the day too, but I spread my vitals across my month in a very specific way that helps me accomplish my goals and helps me to not be stressed about the inviting process, because that's the part that stresses me out. I love coaching. I don't really like trying to feel like I'm selling. I don't enjoy that part. And so I try to localize it in one section of the month or two sections of the month. So here's how my month usually goes. Week 1 of every month is hard hard inviting. So, I mean, I'm going back to my list of 100 that's grown to 200, a lot more in that week than I am in week 2 and week 3. Okay. So week 1 is hard inviting, and a lot, and social media, by the way, goes in all 4 weeks. So I'm not even going to mention it because it's just all the time. Okay. But week 1 is hard inviting. Week 2, I'm still inviting, but by week 2, my goal, which I haven't met every month, but my goal is by the 10th to be Success Club 10. That's my goal. Because my goal is to help at least 5 people every month. Hopefully 5 new people, but sometimes one of those is a conversion or something like that to coach. But my goal is by the 10th, I'm Success Club 10. It doesn't usually happen, but that's my goal, right? You got to have a goal. So by week 2, I'm still inviting, of course, but that's when I start to really pour myself into my groups. So it's not that I'm not paying attention to them in week 1, but I'm paying a little bit less attention to my groups in week 1. And I'm really pouring myself into helping, the actual helping, right? Keeping the main thing. Why are we here? To help other people change their lives, to help them solve their problems, to help them find their best selves. And so week 2 for me, it's all about pouring into them. Week 3, more about the groups. And I start making lists during week 3 of the seeds I want to plant in week 4. And that's what week 4 is. Week 4, I plant seeds for all of the hard inviting that I'm going to do in week 1 when it comes back around. It's very fluid. Like it doesn't always, it's not that I do no inviting in week 2, week 3, week 4. Of course I do. But I also feel really strong. And I don't think that I've gotten good enough yet as a coach to where I can just keep inviting all month long with the same tenacity and still be as good a coach to those people in real life. So I try to compartmentalize it a little bit so that I can truly pour the coaching into each one of those people and really help them get results, because that's keeping the main thing, which I say all the time. You'll hear me say a couple more times before we're done here. So the main thing is, so my month, I plan my month that way. Planning my day. So there's monthly and then there's daily. So the daily, I got to say that I think one of the things that I've worked really hard to do, and I feel like I've done pretty well so far, is real life sharing. Like, I am not the contrived sharer. If you see me share something in social media, most of the time, right, it's not contrived. I am not making that shit up, okay? It's real. It's whatever is really happening in my life, whether it's my kids with their face paint or, I'm making cauliflower for dinner tonight. These are the things that happen today, okay? And I try in my sharing to remember that the reason why people don't want to join us, or they're not sure if they want to join us, is because they're afraid that they can't solve those same puzzles that we're solving every single day as a coach, as a challenger. We're figuring out our food. We're figuring out how to fit a workout in. We're figuring out how to do all these things in the midst of our lives and our challenges and our lifestyle and our families and all those things, and showing people in the social media realm how I solve those problems, I think is what has drawn the challengers that have come to my groups, has drawn them to me, is that I'm being honest. Okay, here's my real life situation. Now, of course, I'm with Maritza in the sense that I can't think of anything negative really that I ever share, right? That doesn't happen very often. But I try as much as possible to make what I'm sharing useful. Other people would call that providing value, putting value in people's lives. So real life sharing. I'm already doing all these things that I'm asking my challengers to do, and that I'm hoping new challengers will want to come and do with me, right? I'm already doing it. I'm already a product of the product. So I might as well share a little bit at a time about that every day in an uncontrived, authentic, real life way as much as possible. I keep the main thing. So I coach first. I help if a challenger reaches out to me with a problem or question, or they've gone away and I'm having to chase after them. That's the most important thing to me. I'm trying to give them a good experience. Gabby said that to us before. That is our job, is to give them a good experience and help them get their results. That's where I think that's the meat of it. And sometimes I think that's where it's really easy to just sort of fall asleep with your challengers and, oh, well, they need to do the work. So why do I need to chase after them? Well, sometimes chasing after them is exactly what you need to do, because you need to remind them why they're here, right? And that reminds you why you're here. So keeping my eye on my challengers, keeping the main thing. I try to, very much like Maritza, actually, I do a lot of my vitals very early or very late. So I get up and I do my workouts early. I do some inviting early. I do lots of inviting late. And then I do social media posts throughout the day. I'm going to give you my daily plan for social media posts so that you know, and I did not make this up. This is something that I've learned from a video or two, and from Gabby, and from this is not new information, but I'm going to give you a list of what I do, because this is my plan. Like I said, right? You fail to plan to fail. So this is my plan. Every day I plan at least 6 posts. And typically I start, this is one that I never did before. This is why I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so my first post of the day is a fitness post. I don't do videos. I haven't gotten there yet. I admire all of you, Ada.
That's not true.
Gabby, you guys all.
That's
oh
not
my
true.
God.
You've done something.
I wish I had that skill. But I post some sort of post about my fitness. I try to every morning right after my workout. It's really pretty much the same picture that I post with my challenge group, right? But it usually is with a little bit different message for the rest of the world, to say, hey, look, I did it. You could get up and do it with me too, right? And I try to make that kind of an inspirational post. I try to do 1 food post a day. I used to do 3 or 4. Those of you who've known me for a while know that I used to do too many food posts. I mean, they were all pretty, let's be honest. They were pretty food. But who wants to see food all day long, right? So I figured out I really just need to do 1 or 2 at the most. So I do 1 food post. I do at least 1 or 2 family-related posts. This is because this is my real life, right? And people want to feel like they know you and understand you, and they can't do that if you're not telling them your story. So I talk about my kids, or I take a picture of what's in. I think Gabby said another one that you can do is whatever's in front of you at the moment. There's a post right there. Whatever's. So how about my "He is risen indeed" mug? That tells you something about me, doesn't it? Yes, he is. Let's see. A family post. I do transformation posts probably 3 times a week. Most of my target audience are also clergy families like us, and they are I know my audience because I am my audience, and they are typically on social media on Sunday nights. So I do a Sunday night transformation post, typically about my husband or myself. And then I always do Transformation Tuesday, and sometimes I do one on Thursday too. If I'm running out of things to talk about that day, another post I do is just an inspirational quote. If it's been 2 hours and I haven't posted, I need to post something, I'll put a quote up, because that keeps the algorithm happy with me, right? Quote. Still providing value. Maybe another one about the kids. And this week I've finally gotten back to something that I really had missed doing, and that is I try to go live once a day. But you'll notice if you ever watch me go live, I don't make it up. Like, it's really what I'm cooking for dinner. or it's really some little problem that I'm just now solving and I just want to share about it. And I think that kind of authenticity in your posts makes a big difference. So that's my kind of 6 or 7 posts a day, a fitness post, a food post, something about my family, some sort of transformation a few days a week, a quote, a kids post, because that's my life, and a go live. If I have something real to share, then I'm going to go live. So the other thing I wanted to share is that, I want you to remember keeping the main thing is probably what has helped me the most. Sharing my experience with other people and paying it forward because I feel called to do that. And then I also want to say it's important to have a success partner, and that person be as awesome as Maritza. You should be so lucky. But find somebody whose skills aren't exactly the same as yours. Someone who compliments you. Like I watch Maritza in social media, and she's so great with the fitness posts and with the posts about her kids and the lives. I don't know if you've seen any of her lives lately about the just saying thank you to people. Like, that was amazing last night, Maritza. That was amazing. You just poured your heart into saying thank you to people for all the love that they've been sharing with you, and getting your new home, and your engagement, your re-engagement, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember what you called it, but find a success partner, somebody who inspires you and who you can help them and they can help you, and you guys can work together and inspire each other. And when you're down, they can pick you up, and when they're down, you can pick them up. Like, that's key. That's part of being a team. And that's been really pivotal for me. And then two last things. One is, like I said at the very beginning, I feel like I've been successful by my standard of success, okay? Not by anybody else's, but by my standard of success, by focusing on what I can control, my attitude and my actions. And when I do that, I get less worked up when people say no to me, or when there's silence on the other end of an invite, or the things that frustrate us, right? It's like, if we just focus on our attitude and adjusting that, and focus on our actions. So a lot of times my social media posts are kind of therapeutic for me, because it's like, okay, so those 6 people are ignoring me, so I'll keep posting my real life story and see who wants to join me next, and be authentic about it, and just worry about it, just shake it off. Just like Taylor Swift, so shake it off. And then I guess the very last thing is, and Maritza said this too, leading with your heart. So I truly believe in my first 21 days that something changed in me last August and in early September of last year. And that when I had those results from that first round, I knew that I had been blessed with something. And I knew, just like, we're gonna bring some church all up in here, when the people were blessed, they weren't being blessed so that they could just keep on blessing themselves, okay? If you're blessed so that you can be a blessing to other people. And if you come at it from that place of, how can I bless you? Help me help you. And it's not all about, these other sort of artificial things that we succeed at, right? Blessing other people. That's what we do as coaches. And if you're blessing somebody else, no matter what other benchmarks you may or may not have reached this month, if you're blessing other people, you're a success as a coach. You really are. And you need to own that and remind yourself of it and live it and know it Find a success partner who will remind you of it. And that's it. That's all I got. That's it. Done, Gabby. Any questions?
Sorry. I was writing that last thing you said. I have 3 pages full of notes, guys. Seriously, from both of you. If you bless others, you're a success. I love it. And we talk about that all the time when we get on our mentorship calls, right, Amy? But both of you were amazing. But before I go in, I want to, does anyone have any questions for Amy, our preacher's wife?
I have one question again, Amy. I'm sorry. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Apologize.
Excellent job also. You guys both did an amazing job. Very well prepared. And I've spoken to you on the phone some months ago. But you're the way about you and the way you speak about how you can only control what you can control is amazing, because that's so true. So my question that I had for Maritza, what are you doing for personal development? Because I know at the time you were kind of struggling with it, I think. But what are you doing as far as personal development right now?
It is still my growing edge. I admire those of you who are, elbow deep in 3 or 4 different books. I'm really terrible about it. I have a stack of books, I do. And I try to engage them, but I'll tell you what I come back to, or what I'm doing today. I'll tell you what I'm doing today, and I'll tell you what I come back to if I'm not sure what to do. So today I am reading a book. I think the title is The 13 the 13 things mentally strong people don't do, I think is the title of it. It's a don't do book. Hey, Ryan, can you grab that red book off of the table and bring it to me so I can read them the real title? Do you mind? And then I'm also just starting to read a book about strength finders. Has anybody ever heard of strength finders?
Yeah, I read that before. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, so I'm about to dive into that book. I just went to a conference where we studied it, and I found out what my strengths were, and I'm going to go read about it. But if I'm ever not really sure what to, you want me?
The Dr. Seuss Danny.
Ryan says this is my PD. I did read this today. Danny and the Dinosaur. It's the 13 things mentally strong people don't do. This is a pretty good one, actually. This reminds me a little bit of the 4 agreements, which I go back to over and over and over again, the 4 agreements. And this one is my new one. And then if I'm not really sure what to do, I always go to Bob Heilig, because I hear that guy, right? He makes sense to me in my head. But I still struggle with PD, Jamie. Okay. I really do. I wish I was as good as you are at focusing on it. I'm not good at focusing on it.
Well, the one thing I can tell you, for somebody that doesn't do PD, I mean, your whole attitude and the way you are is amazing. So whatever you're doing is working. So great job.
It's possible that it's because I've done a lot in the past.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of head work and heart work in the past. So
awesome. Great job. Thank you.
I don't have a question, but I do want to say, Amy, I'm so grateful for you. I don't want to sound like a little sob story over here, but I'm like, while I was muted, I was telling Vic, I am so grateful to have met her, because like you said, whenever I'm down, like the other day I messaged you and I was like, I'm really down, I was at -2 and this and that. You helped me, take it back. You helped me realize again, why are we doing this? Like you said, we're blessing others. So definitely, if you do not have a success partner, get one, like right away, because it helps so much. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm so glad that we met. We were in, I still remember, Amy, from the first challenge group, we were doing 21 Day Fix Extreme at the same time.
You inspired me.
And you inspired me. And I remember I just kept saying, like, okay, Amy's going to post, so I'm going to post. And we were always like back to back. So definitely find a success partner, because it helps you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are a match made in heaven.
I know, and who would have thought? I was like, I just moved to Texas, and now we're 30 minutes away. Yeah, now we're neighbors. And we're doing fit clubs. See?
Yeah, totally.
See,
Soulmate, Beachbody soulmate.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
I want to know who asked who. Who asked?
I asked her out on our first date.
Maritza asked me, yeah.
I
She
asked
was planning better than I was. She did, yeah, that was awesome. I was so flattered. I was like, oh, of course. Winning the pageant. Yes. That was awesome.
Awesome. Go ahead, Nelda. Did you have something?
No, I just wanted to say how amazing the two of you are. Like, I have so many notes, and you guys inspire me every single day. Like, I go looking for your posts, and I love you both so much, and for everything that you guys bring to this team. You guys rock.
Man, you guys can make anybody cry. But this call was super amazing. I mean, I think that what I appreciate is that you guys simplified it. You know, it's sometimes I think the issue is that we do overcomplicate it in our minds. And, you know, I love how Maritza is such a freaking emerald. She loves to check boxes. When she's like, I like these boxes, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she's such an emerald. But what I like about everything is that you did oversimplify. You know, you right? Is that the word? Undersimplify it? Because the issue here is that sometimes we think is bigger than what we can handle, and it really isn't. If you can just focus, like Maritza said, one day at a time and just focus on the things that you got to do today, then you get them done. And it's what Amy said, control the controllable, right? Do the things that you can do. We focus too much on, I'm not at Success Club, and she is. You know, I'm not a this, and she is. I'm not, you know, and like Amy said, let's keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is helping people, is blessing others with this amazing blessing that you received. And we don't really need to focus on, you know, I think that the issue sometimes is that we want to do so much that we don't do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like we want to focus on our like page. And I'm not saying that those are not important things. They are, but you have to master the smaller things. Those things that, the unsexy things, those things that we don't like doing, those, you know, both ladies said that they struggle with the invitation, right? But guess what? They get it done every single day, right? They invite those people. They probably close their eyes and they press send, right? Or post, because, you know, I know that it was a struggle for both of them. I remember Amy also, you know, when we first started conversing, that she wasn't posting, you know, 6 times a day, but now she is. You know, it's a process, and you have to, you know, inch yourself there. But you can't focus on just doing PD and not putting it into action. You can't just focus on inviting and not working on yourself. You can't just focus on doing, right, the vital behavior of being proof the product works, but not sharing it with people. So they all are vital so that your businesses grow. So you have to equally give attention to all of them so that your business can grow and really just step out of the shell like both of these ladies did. So amazing call. I got, like I said, 3 pages of notes, and I learned a ton tonight, and I appreciate you guys spending, you know, spending tonight with us and sharing your knowledge. And if anyone else has a question or a comment, otherwise we will let
Maritza, can you post your slides on the team page? Oh, thank you, honey.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Wait, a team picture. Hang on. Let me do the gallery view. All right, let's do our gallery view. I'm at this still. All right, smile, everyone. Yay. Thank you, God. Wait, one more.
I just got out the shower, so.
Let's go. One more. Cheers. Yes, everyone's smiling. All right, guys. Have a great night, ladies, again.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll post a recording ASAP.